Like a weird burp. That was a weird burp. Push down. That won't happen when I talk. Suppression. God damn it. Alright, what am I doing? Leaving. Alright. I mean, am I ever alright? Having a little stroke? Yeah, I think that was just it. Yeah, nothing too major. We have them like all the time. Words have been eluding me pretty hardcore today. Oh, come on. Yeah, exactly. Do. It's because I'm a pirate too. Yarr! You know? I could do have a bike on the way back here. So we got Jock's Challenge, Funhouse Fun. Oh, that sounds fun. Maybe that's why I couldn't go in the Funhouse earlier. We'll go do the discreet deliveries one first, because we failed that last time. Because Einen told me to do a flip, and I did a great flip, but it knocked me out. Bloody Einen. Hey girl. No, fuck off. How are pirates bums? They're pretty fucking active. What one am I going to go to? Is it down here? You're an idiot, you know that? Get him. You leave my bud alone, bitch. Get away. Yeah, that seems to relate in some way. Yeah. I know those teeth are fucking terrifying. So yeah, they're hardcore. This is outside of school, yeah. Dude, watch out. Skateboarding year. Skateboard looking sick, right? I know. Well, you think that's cool? Watch this shit. Fucking reverts. There's reverts in this game. And if you jump from high enough, he does a little grab. I kind of need a bike to get down there quick. Oh, the bike shop's right here, right? Oh yeah, I have my scooter as well. I haven't even tried that yet. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. You're not wearing a police. Oh, you're not wearing a helmet. If the police see you, get in trouble. They can fucking try and catch me. I'm motorized now. Oh, and I can still punch people. That's good. Oh wait, I do have a horn. Haha, nice. How do they know where I am?
Mr. Watts sent me. Something about some deliveries. I'm gonna be rich one day. You get the hell off my turf one day.
Oh yeah, I purely died trying to get to this, didn't I? It wasn't part of the mission I died in. I just died trying to get here because I smacked into a thing. Hey, Carl, baby! Hey, dude! Oh, goddamn, I gotta pause this for this reading. Okay. So you're going by Fizzle McCoy. How nerd? About a 2 on the nerd. It's not very nerdish, yeah. What's up, douchebag? It's Carl from high school. Remember me? No, because I didn't go to high school. I was too cool. They were like, you just go to space school. That's where I went. I went to space school. Me and the guys used to give you a hard time in school. You did send me boner pictures. That was weird. Sorry, you were just an easy target. I was quite slutty. I can see not much has changed. Remember Bakura? No. The girl I had a crush on? There wasn't any girls in space camp. I was the only human. You're married now. Oh shit, well that's nice. You make over 200k a year. You drive a Mustang GT. Not a Ford Ranger though. Guess some things never change, huh? Loser. Huh. Nice catching up, lol. Oh, that's not my name's not lol. That's from This Is England. Pathetic. ... Huh. Yeah. That was my old friend from I believe I actually met them in what's it called? You'd call it kindergarten in America. We'd call it nursery over here. I fucked his mum when I was 4. That's why he's always had it out for me. His mum's not even that good looking. For a 4-year-old though, I did alright. Up, left, right. Okay. That was nice, Cal. I like that. 4-year-old Fizz had game, yeah, but 10-year-old Fizz happened, and you know, all of the heroin and stuff got into play, and I just forgot it all, you know. Right? Money, please. Bully copy pasta seemed appropriate. Oh, was that actually a bully copy pasta? That's cool. I thought you'd actually like made it yourself. I thought you were, you know, a go-getter. Can't sell by Twitch. No, but I didn't use the V word. Okay. Oh wait, are you not allowed to say it? But what if it's true? What if you did have intercourse with someone's parent? Okay. It's alright. If anything came of it, I'd just get Kyle to tell them it was a true fact. Here's your box. Did someone just take... Wait! Frick! That's my bike, you piece of shit! Fucking piece of shit. Get off my bike! What the fuck? This is my bike! I won this at a carnival fair and square. God damn. There we go. Good fit to suck, man. You can't even call people the V word anymore. Right, tear up the contract. That's it, man. Tell me you won't be their slave no more. Oh, this one just down here, okay. Also, they say I'm not wearing a helmet, but I'm wearing a pirate hat, which is, like, as good as a helmet. Oh, I keep pressing all the wrong buttons to break as well. This guy literally looks like a mafia boss. Hurry up! I got other deliveries, old man. Jeez. He won't even tip me either. Oh. Is that not a map? Okay, here we go. So, the last one is just in school, okay. I beeped! Beep beep. Let's sit around the back of the school, yeah, okay. I'm trying to beep so I don't murder any children. See, he didn't die. Am I not allowed to ride a moped around campus? Doesn't really make sense.
I hope I don't get caught again.
Oh, is it you who wants it? There we go.
Thank you.
So pirate hat is even better, yeah, right? What the hell? Piece of shit. Dude's like trying to have a go at me for curfew after I deliver him a packet of nice drugs. What an asshole. I'm leaving, alright? Yeah, right, I'm gonna lead you over here because you're a knob end. And then I'm gonna go get my bike. I just want my bike. I'm a bikey boy now. You know? I murdered that man. The Virgin Media affiliates. Oh shit. Oh no, don't bust me, that fails my mission. Oh, you bastard. Just because I run over people. That's the second time I failed that easy mission. God damn it. I was talking about the TV company. I'm with Virgin Media for my internet. Like, what am I meant to say? Maybe. It's a shame you can't mix and match some of the outfits. Like, I'd like to put the helmet on, but for
I'm hungry already.
for the other outfit, for the Rockstar outfit.
I'm hungry already.
Where'd you get my band Buckaroo? Oh shit! Your dad works at Twitch. My dad works at my dad's Jeff Bezos, and my brother's Elon Musk. My sister is a badger.
I'm hungry already.
I'm hungry.
You cannot
Already?
harm me, bro. I'm wearing my
I've got quite a few missions now. Okay. We'll do some school. Sarah Silverman? What about Sarah Silverman? Oh, she's my sister? Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
I don't mess around, Hopkins. What's your offer?
Love, action,
You ain't getting up there.
Bite me, Dilwyn.
I'm getting tired. I'm
Sue your ass if I ever have stupid kids. Nothing. I won't tell. Just don't hurt
If I didn't have a sprained wrist,
think
you'd
of that?
already be dead.
Get him!
You made my hit.
Yo, man. Calm down. Chill. Hey, why would Mr. Hattrick call
Loser.
I was just playing.
Yeah, that's why you're a loser.
Smell you later.
Bye.
I'm gonna have a
Smell
sody.
you later.
See ya.
Bite me, Dilwyn. Check this out, sucker.
Go for the juggler. Nice.
Oh, you like jugglers?
Down, you're pretty shitty. Hey, dude. You know.
Okay, so I don't think I have to actually... Yeah, okay, I've done chemistry, so I don't have to do that.
Go call my mom.
Let's go do Funhouse Fun. I'm guessing that's at the Funhouse. No, they're both in school. Okay, so directly to the right as well.
Got it. You sheep. Stick it in your ear. Wonder if girls ever like
Perfect.
Jesus in the hospital. Amazing.
Okay. School started again today, and it was honestly such a pain to do basic code, and it's also pointless. Hey, at least it's, I don't know, getting you to qualification towards it, you know what I mean? A lot of time it's annoying, you have to do that boring ass shit just to prove that you know how to do the actual, like,
Yo,
good
Jimmy,
shit.
I'm over here. Give me 5, dude.
Don't do it. COVID. That's why I'm wearing this mask.
Yeah, well, cat. Looks like your homies took care of some lames for us.
Took care of you, did I? Get
What
them.
are you talking about?
Don't get fresh with your homies.
Can you please talk normally?
Like an
This
algae.
is my normal style of reppin', bro.
All right, enough. What's my quest?
Ah, right. Salutations, Sir James.
Wagwan.
It seems my clever brethren have taken control.
There's more
of
so
the
class
funhouse
can catch up with the teacher, said
Well
this
done.
was class was
All that
probably one of the
education
worst
and
he's had in his
your
years.
funhouse
Nice.
genius.
That's always a good medal to get from your teacher. Means you made an impact.
The team is going to be there this afternoon. You could really cause them some problems.
Okay, explain it to me on our way
Causing
over.
problems seems
There's
incredibly
not much
mean.
to explain. Just access the control rooms through the maintenance doors.
But I do love maintenance doors.
Cool.
Moonwalk. Oh, ooh,
I mean, why can't he get shorts that don't bust? Like, how has he not got a different pair of shorts with fixed zipper? That just fit him.
You ever play the game of
Wait, hold up. Am I near my bike? It's like across the camp. Oh, wait, no. Turn left and my bike's like there, right?
Absolutely.
Or there's a bike on the map and this is just a... Oh, no, there, yeah, my scooter's still there. Nice. Like an A.
my cover was blown.
Hey.
Wait, is this the quickest way out? Yeah. I'm just going to leave the horn on until I'm out so I don't murder students. There we go. Yeah, you code most of the time with some friends in the back of the class, so do some interesting stuff. Since we're covering new stuff, you'll still want to follow. I'm doing basic HTML and CSS now. Okay, fair. And the web dev is kind of, oh, right, headachy, boring.
Hope someone's taking notes for you.
Okay. Do I die if I just crash this? No, cool. Quickly, I can't wait to have fun. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Fun is waiting. Hell yeah, let's go. Oh yeah, I've been wanting to see what this was about. Or do you need a vacation again? Right. Well, you'll get another big vacation at 65-ish, maybe 70 by then. Oh shit, yeah, okay, yeah, good point, Kyle. Little warning, this should be fun. Anybody who doesn't like fun, you might want to turn over for a minute. I could try to make it less fun, but I'm a fucking barrel of laughs, so you know what I'm saying. Oh shit. Let's just let this sink in for a bit. Oh. Oh. Yeah, no, 60 more years. You're well close.
Please, I have no.
Whew, there we go. Oh, and anybody who doesn't know, if you check out that link, that's a game both myself and Jan was making. We released it a while ago now. We'll probably have some updates at some point. They can deal with him. Oh, it's like a miniature. That's cool.
I shall maim thee. Go all day. I shall maim thee. You like I shall maim thee.
Oh shit, that's Peter Osborne
I shall maim thee.
of the Osborns.
You think I just I shall maim thee. You like I shall maim thee.
This shit makes some video games and streams of video games. That's Spin Effect's great, right? It proper still trips you out no matter where you're watching it.
I shall maim thee.
Took out both of them.
I'm so glad you got here, Jimmy. The doc's
Spin Effect's
taking
dope.
over. You gotta get us out of
You know, if I make like 200k a year with AI, obviously since I am such a second retirement every 10 years earlier. Yeah, if the AI don't then rise up and kill their father, which would be you. Gotta watch out for that. Try and love your AI, okay? Oh, it's all upside down seds as well. Okay. What do they want? Wasn't really paying attention. We done? Is this the fun house? This fun house is shit. Is this the last room? Hey, welcome back, system. It's probably, yeah, right, yeah. When that kills me, you're probably... Yeah, I suppose you could be quite proud of it, yeah. That's it. I feel like I meant to get up to that ladder. Maybe I'm going to push the table? Is that an option? I feel like we're meant to carry on, right? There must be something I'm meant to be interacting with. Oh, this book, maybe. It says push book, in fact. I was right about the ladder, though. I see the book now. Yeah, yeah. It threw me off because, you know, it's different colour to the rest of them, so why would it be allow you to do something, you know? Ooh, does this do something if I step on it? Oh shit, we're playing Gmod Death Run now. Ooh. I'm waiting for one of these to just not work and slice me the wrong way. Oh, that seems like it could be dangerous. Man, this is for employees only. This is a terrible way to get to your break. Sith logic. I need to find a Dart something name now. You need to find a Dart. Oh, Darth. Okay, yeah, sorry, yeah. You shouldn't have chairs in this sort of place. Because look at this room. This is a typical prop hunt room. And if I don't smash one of these chairs, it will be Einan. And he will win. Even though the audio glitching's like Gmod, to be fair. Operate Reapers. I guess I could let it go. Darth Digitalis. That's cool. It wouldn't let me use it. I was fucking tapping, eh? I wanted to kill them. Oh, I murdered that man. It is Death Run. But I wasted my first one. I'm just murdering children here. This is such a great game. Oh yeah. My own trained eye specifically for murder. Yeah, and then if it breaks its own code, cool, you know. Search remains for the nerds. They're nerds, so they should be able to figure out a fucking maze. It's going to be nice now that non-EA Star Wars games are going to be made again. Yeah, too right, yeah. The future is pretty bright for fucking Star Wars games. Especially with how big, like, Mandalorian's been, and all the other shit I'm sure Star Wars are going to bring out will probably be big. I'm not really a fan of the movies at the moment, but if they keep doing stuff like Mandalorian, I'm still in, so... Sure. Right. The trick with mazes is just to press buttons until you find where you're going. Now, as you can see, I found the correct room. It's just the people weren't in the correct room like they should have been.
Help me out!
This mission was first, hella fun the first time we played it. Yeah, man. Everyone loves a good maze, right? Really excited. Yeah, Taika Waititi says Star Wars movies are going to be sick, man. Everything that dude touches is gold. Mandalorian compared to the prequels is miles better, Ryan. A million times better. I didn't really realise how good this room would be for skating. But yeah, Mandalorian's really good, Einan. Really good. Like, prequels are bad, the movies after the original trilogy, like the latest ones, were fucking awful, especially the last couple. But The Mandalorian is sick. Oh, and you don't like? I mean, you like the prequels though, don't you? You like the prequels, Bronson. See, yeah. If you hate the prequels, you'll still enjoy. I mean, if you like, I mean, I don't think it really makes a difference. Mandalorian's good. If you like or hate the prequels, Mandalorian's sick. Have I gone the whole way? Oh shit! I actually meant to go leave the maze. All right.
Help me out!
I got my buddy with me.
Help me out!
I can hate on the prequels.
Can't beat yourself up over it,
Prequels were
Bucko.
bad. No, I mean, Return of what was it? Return of the Sith. Or the third one was pretty decent, but.
Always talking about weird stuff. She's pretty smart. Help me out!
Come over here, buddy.
Weird stuff. She's pretty smart though. Help me out!
Yeah, you're here. Come on.
That's great.
It's hard to get around me.
Oh, I just realised my radar actually shows the maze, and I've just been running around aimlessly. Yeah, Mandalorian is really good. Yeah, for sure. You know you're actually just like the Disney films, so you've not watched any. Yeah, they were. I didn't like the latest ones. Were pretty awful. Like I enjoyed the first one, The Force Awakens. That was all right. It wasn't the best, but it was all right. Is this not the way out? Okay.
Danvers said Mr. Galloway is a booze hound.
But the next two were fucking awful. Revenge of the Sith was decent. It had good points in it. I'd like to see more Padawan murders, but hey ho. Oh, this is the way.
In the hot dog. Amazing.
I know I'm only
Shiny
getting a C, man, but
nose.
anytime I want, I can get
Rogue One was alright. I just didn't like. I mean, the story in Rogue One was alright. I just didn't like the characters in the story of Rogue One, really. Similar to watch episode 3 and broke out into laughter when Anakin killed the kids. Yeah, it was the best bit, right? They should have done a whole movie of just that.
She's pretty smart though. Granny's always
You haven't seen the other ones yet? I think the only other Star Wars movies beyond the latest ones was Solo, which Solo wasn't awful. Again, it just wasn't really anything special. Yeah, like I remember watching it and being like, I think it had some bad plot points in it again, but for the most part, it's just like, you know.
Granny's always talking about weird
Jesus
stuff.
in the
She's
hot
pretty smart
dog.
though.
Amazing. You're gonna win. Jesus in the hot dog. Amazing.
Get out of my face!
Piece of shit.
Gee, thanks.
I'll play Fallen Order. I still haven't played Fallen Order. I don't have it, but I'd like to play it at some point. Best bit if you consider Anakin's character arc to be a comedy. Yeah, I mean, wait, is it not? Yeah, okay, fair play. Thought so. Said slash on those droids. That's alright. They're droids. You can make more, like babies.
Jesus in the hot dog.
Talking about weird
Amazing.
stuff. She's pretty smart though.
Jesus in the hot
Did I not turn those off? Did I have to carry him walking up there? That looks like I did. There's a walkway. Fucking walkway and everything. So it's radar respawn. Okay, fair.
Talking about weird stuff. She's pretty smart though.
Bollocks finish. It's not finished, but he ain't getting back up. Not now.
Thanks.
You're welcome, nerds. Where's that baseball bat I saw though?
Come on, jerks. See what Jimmy's got for you.
Talking about weird stuff.
In the hot dog.
Oh, he got me pretty hard there.
Oh, thank you, sir. May I have some more?
Sure. You have as much as you want, bitch. There you go, you want more? You want more? It was shit. Hope Ubisoft's open world game isn't about Jedi.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's so much you can explore with Star Wars, but they probably will go some sort of Jedi route. I think your approach will be to not actively avoid Mandalorian then. If it comes up across your path, you give it a chance. It's worth it, man. Yeah. I mean, I liked the original trilogy. And I wasn't really a fan of either of the other trilogies. I wouldn't really watch them. I'd only ever choose to watch the first trilogy, but I'd rewatch The Mandalorian anytime, for sure. Did you ever listen to the version of Gale from the North Country that Bob Dylan recorded with Johnny Cash? I don't think so. It doesn't pop to my mind, at least. Feel free to song request it. You also shared with me that you won't be able to get AC Valhalla on Steam. Oh, is it purely on Uplay or whatever they call it now? Yeah, Mando season 1 starts off a bit slow. Once you're into season 2 as well, though, you'll be fully committed for sure. To the season, not to like a mental facility. Oh, hello. So, you guys ever gone to a supermarket? Yeah, supermarkets are a funny thing. Yeah. So like I went to the supermarket and there was some cheese, right? And it was out of date. I should be laughing. I don't know why not. That usually kills it.
Cheese is in the hot dog. Amazing.
Bump me if you will. Don't bother me none.
No, they didn't like it when I bit up nerds either.
He's talking about weird stuff. She's pretty smart though.
Maybe they want a sex show. I'll go to the audience and see you guys. No. Can't have a sex show without people on stage. You stay there. I'm gonna back way. Start. I'll direct you. If you're eating boogers, that's not gonna be sexy. Well, maybe for some people actually. Not gonna kink shame.
I got a pretty keen sense of
With what you heard about it and how it ends in season 1, you sure it will be? Oh, have you just seen season 1 at the moment? Okay. And there's a cool moment in it where Bob starts singing the wrong lyrics. Oh, okay, nice. Because I'm a lazy fuck, I'm doing dishes for a bit, then coming back to game, then doing dishes and smoking, and gaming and clean kitchen. Dude, that's the best way to do shit. Like, I know when I was learning through like my pain management stuff, they were like, yeah, don't feel bad about that. If you can only do it for 5 minutes, that 5 minutes is way better than not doing it. And if you keep coming back to it, then fucking A. Also feels oddly competitive. They both want to just go for that proper, like, the country star. They're both absolute legends, though, like, yeah. That's the thing that when you have, like, massive collaboration, sometimes they handle it really well, and you're like, wow, that's cool, but sometimes people are just, proper just wanted to get their part on it. Wow, that funhouse was fun. Oh yeah, anybody who was not watching because they didn't want any fun, feel free to uncover your eyes now. The fun is over. It's done. I refuse to allow any more now. Get the fuck out of my way! I gotta get to school. You think I just live at a carnival? I'm not that cool. Get out of here! I want to do open stuff in my boot. Could you not? What the fuck? Every time I get on my fucking bike, you bitches always come at me. Like, I don't even hit people, they just always try and rip me off my fucking moped, man. Okay, Stream Raiders is ready. Let's do it before I forget. Yeah. Let's go. I went to the wrong thing. Here we go. And first level because we've died twice today, even though we've had a good amount of people. Alright, let's go. Yeah, I don't know if they handle it well or if they really are competent. It's a weird one. I mean, it's one for the history books, I guess, at least, right? But did you see that they're making a Gmod 2? Oh yeah, I did actually think something briefly about it. It's going to be called S and Box. That's pretty damn cool, though. Are they doing it on like a new Source engine? Or are they doing it because I'm assuming they're making a new engine to go along with it. I'm guessing that's the part of it. I'm going to give this one to Hatter. I don't think I've given Hatter anything today. Back to map. So, we're going to get our elephant on. And for this one, I'm going to put a mage. Okay. Back to gaming. So on Source 2, okay, they just got like permission from Valve for like official support. All right, nice. Some of the support is going to be crazy. Hell yeah, man. Because I mean, Gmod's great, but Gmod, it is a bit old. So actually having like PBR textures and shit in Gmods, that's going to be fucking nuts. That's the Fizzle remix. I've still got time till my next lesson. Hour and a half.
Can you help me, sir?
I can't.
I'm gonna lay your butt on. Come on, buddy.
Alright, let's see what these nerds are up to.
Yo, I try to do all my homework. Hey!
So what's this saying anyway? Oh, it's really expensive just to fix the engine alone. You pay 25k. Fuck. Yeah, that's a bit nuts. Oh, for commercial, okay. Does it give anything like UE or Unity where you can do it for certain freeness?
What would you call a yard thick
It's
in the
not
metric
easy
system?
showing these kids right
What would you
from
call
wrong.
a yard thick in the metric system?
Give me the ball.
Who's on top?
Give me the ball.
You're on top.
Give me the ball. God.
Against team
We're
Here's the ball.
because we're better.
I'll try not to hurt
Here's
you
the ball.
too badly.
Oh, what? How we playing? This is different to how we played it before. Give me the ball. Do my patented kick. This is gym class. Uh-oh.
You don't have a chance
You'll
against
raise your
team
payroll in advance.
Get 'em. Don't think so. You can make 3 mods though without paying. Okay, but for actual, yeah, I suppose the mods is different because you don't have to actually use the engine. Just the assets or some code, I guess they can give you. But for actual published games, you need to pay a lot. Okay, fair.
We're gonna win because we're better.
My mom says I'll win.
That's just easy. Yeah. $15 Skrilla.
Hey, you won.
Yep.
I guess you can use the clubhouse.
Oh, sweet.
Thanks, I'll be sure to visit you often.
Oh, nice. Cool. Well, I get a clubhouse, extra clubhouse now. Where's this one at? I want to go see. By the football field. Oh, okay. I don't even think I ever really got there. I know it's still in the engine, just like making games with like the SDK from said game, but you only pay. Okay, right. I get you. Okay, cool. Where the fuck? Where is the field? I never go to it. It must be close.
Those nerds really friggin' bug me.
Yeah, here it is. Cool. Hey, it's a football. Can I throw it? Hey, go long. Oh, that's pretty good.
Hang on to that.
I could probably. I don't know if I'm good enough to be a quarterback. Maybe a halfback. Or an eighth back, I guess, would be a better one. Wouldn't mind getting an eighth back. Oh shit, look at all this stuff. Oh, can I jump on it? Oh no, because it's in a net. Get him. Did it say I can save in here or just sleep? Yeah, this clubhouse isn't quite as cool. You can save in here. Okay, that's cool. Okay. So if you've seen Valheim, I've hearing a lot of people talk about it, and I've seen like little bits of it, but I've not paid too much attention to it. Oh shit, school. Time to educate. Run fast, run true. Go Team Blue.
I stretch you up for that hat.
Oh sweet, it's right here. What have we got?
Really love
English.
There's so
Okay, please feel free to help me. We failed this one twice already. I've been playing with Crope in the game as long as so good. Okay, think about putting it into server for a host and extra get for it. Fucking A. Nice. Fuck you, Kyle. I'm not looking forward to this. Let's go.
Good one. Good one. Good one.
Kinroy. Oh, that's a good one, actually. Good one, Kyle. Cray, nice, yeah.
Try again.
Oh, no, Cray didn't work. Fuck.
Good one.
Yarn, yeah, yarn, yeah, good one, yeah. Good one!
Good one.
Corny, yeah, fucking A. Good shout. That's a good one.
Good one.
That's number one. Done yarn, oh, raccoon. Done acorn. shit around a bit.
Good one. Good one.
Narco didn't count. Or yes, or good one. Yeah, Narco didn't count earlier. I don't think Orc counts either. No. Any, yes. The best thing about that is that could have just been Carl just been like any word, but it wasn't. Can I pause? I can even pause during that time. Fucking hell. Okay. Hey, interested smoker. How you doing? Bully is going beautifully. Is Ray on a word? I'll give it a go. Here it is. Fucking A, nice one. Orco, of course. Yeah, yeah. The hardest gang in the world.
Good one.
Try again, James. Try again.
Carney? Yeah, could Carney work? I don't know if that's
Good one.
oh no, it isn't slang. Sweet, okay. Nay! Good shit. Car, have we not done car? Fuck me.
Good one.
Good one. Rowan? I don't know if that's a word or not, but Einem would know.
Good one.
Yep. Good shit. We've done Orca. Hey, we've actually passed now. We've actually passed, so we can... I'll try Noi.
Try again, James.
Hey, Insisto! How you doing today, buddy? Lovely to see you. Maybe like a weird spelling of anchor? Is this how the Americans spell anchor? No, okay. Racy? I think we tried that. Let's give it a go.
Good one.
No, good one. Nice one. Can. Have I not done can?
Good one.
No? Fuck me. I'm slipping. Okay. We done corny. Oh, Coney, sorry.
Good one.
What about Kari? Or Harry Carey? Oh, come on. Rayo.
Again, James.
It's alright, we passed. Whew. Thanks, guys. Fucking English, right, man? Jeez. And you're just in class right now, Sesto? So instead of doing your actual classwork, you're helping my classwork on a fictional game. Yeah. And Rowan is a word. I have no idea what it means. I didn't also suggest it. What does Rowan mean? I'd like to know and use it. What class are you in at the moment, Sesto, dude? You have an ability to give better taunts. You smell like licorice.
Say that one more time and I'll punch you in
vagina.
the face. Tell you what, stop being an idiot and shut up.
Oh, that's actually top level insult. Whoa.
Watch and learn.
That was a good insult. I felt hurt from it and I said it.
Don't look at me.
You'll be even funnier in a wheelchair.
You're gonna cripple me?
What's going on?
I mean, I suppose he could just get me an actual wheelchair because I don't mind him every now and then. But like, he just threatened to cripple Jimmy Hopkins. I might take that to the federales. Paparazzi or Galloway away. Oh, one's actually in school. I'll do the in school one.
It bothers me that I can't put
No, you're in math. Okay, so you really should be focusing. Yeah, that's fair. Sounds like a shortened version of grown. So, okay, yeah, I could do that. This is like half a grown. But, yeah. A type of horse? Oh, okay.
Hey, Miss Phillips.
I'm surprised no one said boat.
So what really
As in, like,
happened to Mr.
rowing a
Galloway?
boat.
Where did he go?
I should have saved that for the stage on this game. Bollocks. You're back after class is done in about an hour if you're still alone. Sounds good, says though, dude. I will be. In fact, in about half an hour or so, I'll be going on to Stardew Valley. But just will be streaming around then, yeah. But have a great one, man. And yeah, get your education on. And Rowan is a type of horse. And boat. Oh.
About being an adult.
Miss, I'm not 5. My mom's been married 5 times, and I've been
Ooh,
expelled
fucking hell.
from 7 schools.
Lucky lady.
Yeah.
Lucky schools.
He's a
No, he says that you have a great one, man. And lovely to see you again, by the way. Hope you've been keeping well. It's an old wooden ship. It means whale's vagina.
wretched.
Leave it like that. Thank you very much.
Guilt tripped him.
Yeah, maybe your teacher will like me and then be like, yeah, fuck it. Just put them on. Who needs math when you got Fizzle?
Only someone could
Yeah.
get in there and tell
You
him
don't
to
need
get
math
out.
to spell
I'll take
Fizzle.
care of him.
So,
You go.
Because that loveless scumbag Hattrick told him not to let me in. Said I was a
Wow, what
bad
Patrick?
influence.
Don't you worry, miss. I'll get him out.
fucking
Okay.
starfish.
Meet me near the asylum tonight.
I'll be there.
And Jimmy,
Yeah,
Yes, Miss Phillips?
what's happening?
it's Ms., not Miss.
Oh. Oh, Rowan means sea pussy. Right, thanks, Bronson. I'm glad I can actually trust some people. People being like, oh, it's a horse. Like, come on. You don't win friends with salad. It's true. Yeah, no one really cares. Like, salad's right. But you don't really go and someone's like, oh, what's your favourite food? Salad. What's wrong with you? Unless it's shrimp salad. Well, that sounds a bit different. And imagine that would have a fuckload of sauce on it, negating any health that benefit it gives you. Which is what you want. If you've got healthy food, you need to smother it in unhealthy food to make sure you're not getting too much of the good stuff. Because if you have too much of the good stuff, your body will start relying on it. And that's not the way to be. How the fuck do I get there? Just forward. No, go to the football field and go over there, maybe? Where's the football field? This way? Where's my scooter? Watch this, it's gonna be a big jump. Whoa! Oh damn, that was pretty neat. Okay, let's hope there's somewhere over here I can do it. Sick reference, bro. Yeah, I didn't actually hear that, but I mean, it worked. Singing in the blues. I don't want to know what that's about. Sound advice. Sound advice can be good, otherwise you can't hear. Oh, now I'm allowed in this place that I wanted to go in previously. That was convenient for the game and the story. Wow, sorry I got in your way.
Not too bad.
There's a lot of wood around here. If I ever need to steal some wood, I'll come right here. Oh. And it did work? Okay. And it was to Iron and Simpsons reference. Did I make a Simpsons reference? Did I just miss it? Hang about. Oh, you don't mean friends with salad? That was a Simpsons reference. Ah, okay. And my stream didn't resume. There we go. Sit, my boy. Run. Where the fuck are we? Ooh, I would like that, please. I guess I'll just wait here. Oh, I don't know why the way the car stopped there. I thought the game had crashed for a second.
Please hurry and try to talk some
Simpsons
sense.
did it.
I'll be waiting for him at the asylum gates.
Don't worry, miss.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Find a way onto the asylum grounds.
I'm sorry.
Woo!
Oh my dear Lord Almighty! No!
Oh shit!
I'm gonna rage out!
What? Just because I broke some chairs? You're mental, mate. You're fucking mental.
Run, little boy, run! There's Uncle Theo's gonna grab you someday.
Oh, I'm not allowed in there now. I thought I could just outrun the burger. I guess I'll just run around this way. It's got a janitor-sized keyring. Oi oi. I can't go through that gap. Well. Hey, a tree. Another good things to climb around here. Had to go to this tree. This reminds me, I really need to get back onto Odyssey Humankind. That's a good jump. Oh, what is going on here?
What are you doing? Let's be friends.
Hello.
But don't anger the Watcher.
Okay, I'll be friends, but I won't anger the Watcher. Destroy the statue's power source without being seen. Don't let the audience spot you or they'll throw you off the property. Why would they do that? That's super mean, right? Can I hide in hedges? Don't be seen. I think I was walking over here. How and why did I start laying down? What? There isn't a button to make him lay down. He just did that at that one spot and that one spot only. He's not done that at all in the rest of the game. Nerd. Oh, do I have to actually smash it and shit?
Turn around, boss. You don't have access to these here parts.
I'm sure I do. Do I have to do that
You're a
again?
real loser, kid. I gotta start pressing with that Giorgio guy. He is ripped.
Fuck your chairs.
Oh, freak, yeah. I'll break every dream you ever had. You can't run from these pipes. Run, little boy, run. There's Uncle Theo's.
He literally said you can't run, and then said run in like the very next sentence. He just needs to learn what he wants. Okay, we got it this time. Oh, yeah, I've got the spud gun now as well, haven't I?
Man, the last thing we need is some sort of watcher stampede again.
Oh shit, he's going that way. Will he see me from over here? Hopefully not. No, he didn't. He's a dimmy. She fucking knows. And I'm trying to be stealthy. Okay. Sneak through the asylum and find Mr. Galloway.
You aren't allowed to be here.
That was because of gammy analog sticks, please. Like, come on now.
Work out.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I gotta go from this way again. Means I gotta break these chairs again.
Oh my dear Lord, oh my... No! I'm gonna rage out!
Thanks, car. Zoom, 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 zoom. Cool, they didn't see me. Please? I should have put his red ninja costume on. Can I have already done the power now, please? Yes! Oh yeah, okay, cool, it is, the power's done. I just have to get inside the building. And it's allowing me to do it without any guards now? Okay, cool. Okay, that's not as bad then. And that tuberculosis carrying motherfucker's done. The lunatics have taken over the asylum. Why he walks so weird? Like when he's crouching, it's so weird to like guide him. I can't use like both analog sticks at once, otherwise it seems to fuck about. I feel like that guy will see me. Maybe I go through this door instead. Doodle. Or just free everybody? No, please. I can't remember not to touch, for whatever reason, in this building. I cannot touch the other analog stick. Doodle-doo. Doom, doom, doom.
I need a drink.
I don't understand why people are so
This is sure way to...
Found him.
I must be
Found
a
the
better
cutscene.
person. I must be a better person. I must be a better person. Oh, God! I am pathetic!
Yeah, why aren't you a better person?
Go away! I don't want to have another group therapy session with those people. If I have to pretend to be someone's mother one more time, I'll... Oh.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, you right?
What on earth are you doing here?
Miss
Motocross.
Phillips sent me. She's really worried about you. Come on, let's get out of here.
Oh,
We just let the door close though.
I can't right now, Jimmy. I'm late for my regression therapy as it is. It's fantastic. I've discovered I really do hate myself.
Oh, fair.
Patrick
Nice.
was right. I am a loser.
No, you're not.
He is.
Don't be ridiculous. Come on, we can't.
He doesn't
let
even know how to
bullies
button
like
his
Mr.
shirt, look
Patrick
at it.
win.
What a
Okay,
dummy.
Jimmy.
Oh, that was super easy to get out. Cool.
Jimmy,
Just run straight out.
appreciate this. Thank you.
Me too. I am so happy to have my galley bear back.
Galley bear.
Yeah, his name's Galloway. How do you not even know his name? You're meant to be lovers. $60? Whoa. pretty fucking rich then.
Ain't no stopping Jimmy Hopkins.
Hey, that's me. Can I get back to civilization down here? I assume so. Whoa! Nope. Nope. I'm fucked. He said that's what the nearest bus stop was, motherfuckers. It's just discrete deliveries, which I fucked up quite a few times already. Do I have to go back? Do I have to go around this way? Where am I going? Through here? Yeah. Oh yeah, this is where I came in, wasn't it? Wait, is this a different area? Is this where I'm gonna go? I think so. Yeah, I think this is the right way. Last time I came through an area like this, at least I had like nerds to knock over, and I could use them as waypoints on the way home.
Howdy!
Who dared say howdy to me? Right, we can try discrete deliveries again.
Maybe. I don't want to tell. I've been thinking a lot about snails recently. They're slimy.
Kid loves a snail.
Really love bunnies. They're so
Kid loves a
nice.
bunny.
Can you give me something?
Kid loves a something.
You think you can roam wherever? Look at here!
Yeah.
Trespassing.
Let's try this again. And this time, we're gonna do it properly. It still has teeth. Where is my moped? It's on the. It was on the map. Okay, maybe I have to go back to the locker now. And it says. So if I follow the building around a bit.
Good day, my friend. Greetings and salutations.
Hello.
I've been thinking a lot about snails recently. They're slimy.
Why
Cool.
don't you call a yard thick in the metric system?
Ha ha ha!
Take care.
No, wrong way.
Fight me, Dewey!
Oh, good roll.
See you around, kiddo.
I heard screaming. Hopefully it was good screams. See ya. I've been thinking about Fizzle a lot recently. He's slimy. Oh, thanks, dude. I've been trying to work on the new coat. I wasn't sure if it was coming through on stream or not, but I'm glad to know it is.
I'm gonna be rich one day. Mr. Watson, you're always gonna be something about some deliveries.
Give me that shit. Give me. Come on. Hurry. Get on with it.
I'm gonna be rich one day. To bestow property is theft.
What you doing? That's my fucking moped. Why do... Nerd? Nerd! Why wouldn't he let me take my moped back? He won't let me he just stole my moped without me being able to do anything. The fuck? I got things to deliver. Property is fair and steals my bike without any repercussions. I can't kill him. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. I know he's coming back. Just to rub it in my face while I'm on the floor. Give me... Give me what is happening? What is going on with this fucking mission? This nerd gives me a package, steals my bike, and then I'm fucking knocked out. God damn it. And Stiff Chris, how you doing there, buddy? God damn it. I'm tired of my fucking moped now. He's coded to be harmless, so he just lewd your moped. That's bullshit.
What's the word?
Where am I even going? Oh, I have to go all the way back to the fucking school. Fuck off, guy. Fuck off, lady. Oh! Where were these guys when that scooter was taken? Oh, it's so annoying you have to go back to like the mission start. Oh, hello.
Stop that! I will beat you there! What's going on?
Shit. I'll be good, I'll be good, I'll be good. Whew, easily done, never in danger. Okay, do a little save. Do I have any new outfits? Have I done a Nutcracker outfit? I haven't worn that around school yet, actually. We wore everything else, yeah. Alright.
I'm hungry already.
So, we might have time for like one more mission or so.
I'm hungry already.
Maybe we can try the school stuff tomorrow because we're moving on games fairly soon. We've had about a nice solid 5 hours of bully today, though. It's been dope.
My ex-girlfriend around here.
Back off! Please don't be mean to me!
Don't laugh at me. Hey, a bike.
Please don't make me cry.
Check this out, clown store. Those are probably the worst pants I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
What about my pants? Yeah.
Check this out, sucker.
You think I'm joking? Look at me. You're very funny.
Hi.
Can I slip on this on my... Oh, you can on your board as well. Sweet.
Joking?
And thank you for the clip there, Chris, dude.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was
hi.
pure shenanigans.
But I know who did it. Anyway, that's really
Wow,
stupid
he's
thing
gone.
on your head.
You got mugged.
That's
You're right.
really funny. I'm going to be friends.
Yeah, sure. What are you saying?
Hi.
Looks like your mom forgot to change your pants.
Oh, wow.
Want to be friends?
Me do we?
Hi.
Hey, buddy. What's that on your
Hi.
legs? Hey, dude.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Jimmy's in a good mood today. His nuts have been crackered. I think this is photography. Nope. Bollocks, it's art. Art's become really fucking hard. It's really good, but it's hard as fuck. Okay. Let's go. Oh, I got there just in time. Oh, this one. Oh, shit. Trying to get the bomb. There we go. Didn't really work. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, we're not doing too bad, though. Yes. Yes! Come on. Also, the tune for this one is sick. Oh, it was her as well. Good stuff. Good stuff. Stream Raiders battle is ready as well. Okay, what we're gonna do... Actually, we could do a Stream Raider battle whilst we're waiting for our second class of the day. Okay, so let me find a bin to hide in until next lesson. Okay, so let's do the Stream Raider battle quickly whilst we're waiting for that to load. And then we'll be moving on to Stardew very soon. So I'm going to start that there.
Sneaky.
And bring up... So you'll hear Bully in the background, but I'm just doing it so the time progresses while we're doing this. Oh, we got fuckloads of people in this one, though. Get them, 31, yeah.
So attractive. 4 teams, too many to be on.
You forced me on this, and you
4
will
teams, too
regret it.
many to be on.
Hey, not Stank. Thank you very much for the follow there, buddy. How are you doing today?
I just want to graduate.
You think I'm joking?
Can we doing well on the stream, Redders.
Stop it!
Check this out, sucker.
A couple more little buggers to fuck with. And anyone who's not already in the Discord, please feel free to click the link and see the wonders we have in there.
Check this out, sucker.
Why are you picking on me?
Okay.
Check this out,
Good try.
sucker.
Hey, a nice Morty butt face. How you doing there, Stank, buddy? Or not Stank, I guess. So, yeah, sure. Okay, so we're gonna give these to Almighty. We're gonna give this to Zero. We're gonna give this one to Kyle. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and then the next map will be that one. So have fun. I'm gonna put the tank down and hope I can do my daily again, but last time I put the tank down he just died. So get cracking. And let's get back to Bully.
Check this out, sucker.
And you're good, glad to hear.
That's awesome, man. Awesome.
Slipping it, slipping it. Yeah, get him.
Really funny.
Oh, that's one of the only things we haven't got in this game, the ability to actually put banana skins down ourselves.
Oh, yeah! Stop, you'll make me
Oof.
Later.
Now we see who's inferior, don't we, maggot? You can't hide from the pain train.
I don't understand why the world can't live up
I'm
to
so
my
glad to
standards.
see you. I really
Hi.
like bunnies.
I told you I'd bring
They're
you
so
down.
nice. Me like
was actually funny. All right, pose.
I should write you up for that. Looking for trouble? We
Should have wrote you up for that face.
up for that hat.
Okay, it's an outside one. Oh, is it going to be shop class?
Anyways, bye. What's up?
That might be gym. I'm hoping it's gym and not shop class, because I think we're on the last one for gym. In fact, it will tell us. It is gym, fucking A. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, and you just got to eat the bananas where you want to play skin. I don't think I've seen a chance to get bananas yet. And I am on PC, yes, indeed. I'm currently playing this with the Silent mod patch, and a few other like things that the wiki for the modded version of this suggested. And as far as I can tell, if you don't, it's going to crash on you like crazy. But if you do use it, it hasn't crashed on me once. You get bananas in the cafeteria. Oh, okay. Yeah, silent patch for the fucking win on this. Okay, we should be able to kill this one. Let's do it. Let's go. Give me the ball. 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 Okay, that's it. Get punked! Get punked! Oh shit. Did he take the brunt for his friend?
We're gonna win because we're better. I'm trying not to hurt you too badly.
Slam fucking dunk. Okay.
They stole it from us.
1-0 to the best ones. Let's go. Give me it.
We're gonna win.
Give me the goddamn ball.
We're better.
Give me. Give me.
I'm trying not to hurt you too badly.
Team nerd. Who's on top? We're on top. You're still gonna lose, Mustard Steve.
We're gonna win because we're better.
Oh yeah. And that should be it. The controls to this game on mouse and keyboard. Yeah, I'm using controller. I was told basically just fuck off mouse and keyboard for this. It's horrifying. To be fair, it hasn't been a game that you necessarily need it too much. It'd be better for the aiming for sure, but fuck it.
Ain't no stopping Jimmy Hopkins.
Okay, so I can just do dodgeball whenever I want now. Nice.
I don't understand why you'd wear that on
Okay,
your head.
I'm gonna take him back to the dorm now anyway and save. Oh, actually,
Don't make me cry.
it's probably quick for me to go to the clubhouse, right?
Please don't make me cry.
Oh shit, yeah, hang on. Oh, I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna do it! Yeah! Touchdown. New York City. Okay, so... saving is over here. Sweet. Okay. Right, so we are gonna